If you could send a text to your 16-year-old self, what would it say? Story 1. Look, I know it's really weird to see words just floating in the air like this, but don't panic. This is future you, and someday you'll carry your phone in your pocket and you'll be able to use it to write to people. In the meantime, your sister's about to be stood up at the altar. Try to be there for her. Story 2. 1. No is a complete sentence. 2. It's okay if people don't like you. 3. It's okay if you don't like people. 4. Don't depend on your friends' stories as research. Do your own for everything. 5. I love you. Don't abuse yourself. Story 3. Nothing. I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone through all the shoot that came before. I could save myself from a lot of scars, but that could easily mean the difference of who I am now, and I wouldn't risk it. I believe everything played out the way it was meant to, and I learned the most of every lesson tossed my way. Story 4. I guess I'd text him instructions on how to build a cell phone so he can receive texts, but I'm not quite sure that will work, LOL. Steel yourself because it's only going to get worse for a few years. But everything you have gone through and are about to go through will be used for good. You will find love. You will find trust. You will find forgiveness, and you will find community. Story 5. Wear your sunscreen. You are not as fat as you imagine. You're allowed to have a crush on your friend's older sister. It's called being bisexual, and it's super cool, so stop freaking out. Also, your mother loves you more than you could possibly imagine, while your father is trying to control you to get back at her for his imagined slights. Take your mom's side. Don't waste the time you have with her by fighting like your father wants you to. Story 6. Don't have intimacy. Wait as long as you can. And then be very choosy of who you do. Wear condoms. Not everyone is worth it, and you'll regret most of them. Save your money. Invest. Buy as much reality as you can. Have fun, enjoy your life. But don't waste most of your time partying. Don't do substances not worth it. Stay happy and strong. Keep your circle small. Don't trust everyone or everything you hear. Story 7. In 8 years' time, you're going to meet someone called Beth. She will mean the world to you. Keep an eye on her and make sure she's okay. Story 8. Hug your close friends more. There's going to be a time where you are the only one left while the rest of them went to heaven too soon. Story 9. Not everyone who says they love you actually wants you to win. Watch what people do when you're struggling, not just when you're shining. Oh, and skip the third situationship. You know the one. Story 10. Invest in Bitcoin as soon as you are able. Buy as much as you can, then hold on to it until it's worth millions. Story 11. Run from the man who will ask you out soon, and don't follow your aunt's matchmaking advice 4 years down the road. Story 12. I wouldn't change a thing I did up to this minute. I'm here because of all the good and bad choices I took previously, and I love where I am right now in life. Story 13. There were no cell phones when I was 16, LOL. I would tell my 16-year-old self, get out of town, leave, find that person meant for you. Don't feel obligated to put your life on hold for all the people who never showed up for you ever anyway. Story 14. Go to therapy and ignore the media's comments on body image. Abandon religion and deconstruct your family's beliefs. Story 15. Don't stress so much about everything. Things will get better, and you'll be stronger than you think. Just believe in yourself and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Story 16. Save your money and invest in the stock market as early as possible. Oh, and start mining bitcoins in 2009. Story 17. In 2 years, none of the shit you're worried about right now will matter a darn. In 2 years, Everything you're ignoring right now will become the most important things in your life, and they will stay important. Geek out now, get cool later, and for the love of God, save up for a car and learn to cook. Story 18. I would tell myself to remain pure. There's no need to rush into adulthood. Continue going to school and don't listen to your mother about giving up your dreams. Stay on top of it and don't get lazy. Continue getting out of bed immediately and going outside to get fresh air. Story 19. When you see the service for the first time, buy the shares of the company. Buy as much as you can. Mortgage your parents' house. Every dollar. Hold it until 2025, and you'll be a multi-millionaire. But until then, enjoy Netflix DVDs. Story 20. Graduate from college on time. Life after 2008 is going to get real tough without a few years of experience on your resume. Story 21. I'd tell her not to be so scared of making changes and not to let others get to her. Sadly, I think just those two things would have made my life different now. Story 22. Invest in one thing that you're passionate about that contributes to your community. Become an absolute expert at it. Better than anyone in the world. The money will follow if you help others and are grateful for what you have. Have a heart of giving and you'll always have enough. Get free. Always choose the path that leads to you, positioning yourself so that nobody has a say in your life. Work hard. Stuff doesn't matter. More doesn't make you happier. Love every day and be in the moment. That's where you'll find peace and happiness. Story 23. Stay in high school. Quit being so shy and get out and meet people. Your future happiness depends on it. Story 24. Wouldn't get it, considering I didn't have a cell phone until about 6 years later, and texting didn't become a thing until another 4 years after that. Story 25. Start taking music seriously and create a group as soon as possible because the years will pass and your time will run out due to the multiple responsibilities that life gives you, and you will no longer have time. Story 26. Hey kiddo, how you doing? You know you carry a big heart for someone your age. You saw the world as it was a big, happy, colorful place. I never acknowledged that about you. People mocked you, bullied, and disliked you for it. And I disliked the world, so I locked your colorful words in a box deep down with you in it. I didn't know how important it was to be a kid. Now I've realized that being simply a little brat is part of the journey. I denied you your voice, your excitement, your imagination. Think it'll keep you safe, but I realized that I'm actually the real asshole who locked you up behind walls. I was a coward, and I'll never forgive myself for denying you your childhood and the real resilience of youth, where you don't actually give a fudge. You had no friends, no values and goals. I made your everyday life a suffocating loop where I made you wish the day would end sooner. Now living in the gloomy black and white world called reality, I know I have no right to even say anything, but I know I will never ever forgive myself for if I know you wouldn't either. I promise to never let you die. Love you, kiddo. Story 27. Cherish your parents. They'll be gone quicker than you think. Also, please do well in college and for the love of God, pick something other than fine arts. I didn't. I picked art. Now I'm 34 and back in school for respiratory therapy. Story 28. Go straight into blue-collar work. That computer training course you're about to go on and the certificates you'll receive won't get you the job you're hoping for. Story 29. Get help to fund what you really love. Convince your parents to invest in it with the money they want to take you to university. Life will be really good for you. Story 30. Leave that shoot alone. Take up a hobby or something. This is not the way. That road isn't just a dead end. It leads off a fucking cliff. Story 31. I would tell myself how much I love myself and try to motivate myself to do better with my life because, holy shoot, have I made some bad choices, and I'd tell myself to stop talking to myself as soon as I can, lol. Story 32. Hey dude, your 20s are gonna suck, but you're really gonna learn a lot about yourself and who you are as a person. Your 30s will be a breath of fresh air, but good luck trying to find a job. Love you, man. P.S. Put the house on Bitcoin. Story 33. Stop trying so hard to be cool. You just come across as annoying. Shut up and focus on academics instead of sports, for fudge's sake. Story 34. I wasn't allowed to receive contact from the outside. I'd probably just tell myself happy birthday and remind myself that there's only a week of hell left. Story 35. We didn't have text messages back then. Cell phones weren't as popular as they would become a few years later. Story 36. Please study for the exam you will give on 18th of June, 2025. Please, man, because the present me hecked up. Story 37. Start the gym from now, so after 5 years you have good physique at 6F'd or beyond, at just age of 21. Currently, I'm 21, started gym at 20, and my height didn't grow beyond 5,000 wabiso. Story 38. Get tested for ADHD, stick with Flash Dreamweaver, learn Blender, no WoW sell RS rares, buy Bitcoin. It gets better when we put the effort in. That's 137 characters, when a text message in 2001 contained 140. Story 39. Stop trying to be straight. You know you're not. And look into possible college in Canada instead of US. Story 40. Hey baby, listen. I know this feels like the world is crashing and burning around you, but trust me, you will find your way. Don't chase validation in others. Find your worth. Breathe. Get to know you. Get to love you first. Because truly, you are amazing. You're okay now. You will be okay later. Story 41. Drinking won't be fun after 20. Less fun, way more regrets. Quit smoking. No matter what, everything is gonna work out. Story 42. Start therapy now, and you will see your life completely change. You won't lose the love of your life if you start therapy now. Story 43. Do what makes you happy and don't worry about the opinions of others, because you won't even know these people in a few years. Story 44. Yeah, it's really that bad. You are going to have a lot more bad moments, but sometimes you get a really good moment, and you have to keep looking forward to the good ones. Story 45. My 16-year-old self would not be able to receive said text, since my 16-year-old self is sitting in 1995. Story 46. Gods, I don't think I even had a cell phone until I was 17. And I'm not 100 sure it could even receive text messages, lol. Story 47. I started losing my hair at like 13. I was a chubby kid with a comb over and didn't shave bald until my first year of college. I'd have told my 16-year-old self to shave it all off. My life changed for the betters after shaving bald. Story 48. Don't worry, your periods will come in the next 2 years. Spend time with Nan. She won't remember you soon. Story 49. Hang in there. Your life in 20 years will be better than you can even imagine now. Also, try and learn a thing or two from your grandpa. Story 50. In a few years' time, a super horny MILF is gonna want to hook up with you. Don't pass the opportunity. Just go to her apartment and lose your virginity. Story 51. Don't download Amino. Also, can you please become a proper human being? Your future self has no friends. Story 52. Stay abstinent. Don't go to the house parties and focus on school. I could have saved myself from a lot of trouble if I did that back then. Story 53. Good news. Your parents lied to you. They're not so poor. So don't be stressed, bad news. Future won't be better. You still live in hard life. Story 54. Stop hanging out with your cousin. Don't waste your time with that girl. Take your creative endeavors more seriously. Spend as much time with our great aunt because she'll die in about 9 years. Cut the drinking and smoking, stay out of trouble, and buy Bitcoin. Story 55. Get off the substances. Get off the booze. Just wait until you're 25, and your brain is fully developed if you want to mess with that shoot. Trust me, it's not worth the cerebral chemical imbalances and depression you'll spend the rest of your life dealing with. Story 56. Leave that one Discord server you're in. It does not matter if that one person you are befriended with is in there. Just leave while you can. Don't let people get too close to you, and if they do, cut them out with no hesitation. Check out this cool platformer game called Celeste. Story 57. Love your body. Worry less about pleasing other people. Your happiness matters more. Oh, and by the way, you have autism and ADHD, and you're going to be okay. Story 58. Have the baby. Don't marry the dad. Technically for my 20-year-old self, but I figure a 4-year notice is good enough too. Story 59. You ugly as fudge fool. Wrecked. Get fudge, you long-haired, flat-nippled troglodyte. Llama ol Mao, yo mama's a bitch. She actually is. Not being rude, don't dislike me. Don't think it would do me any good, but it be the only time I might get away with talking like this to a kid without feeling like a piece of shoot afterwards. Story 60. Since it says, if you can, and we had nothing to text on back then for the record, I would say buy Apple stock while it's cheap. And in about 20 years, this Bitcoin thing is going to come out. Buy mine as many as you can and hold on to them. Story 61. Start working out and quit eating junk, you fat son of a meanie. Also, don't buy that case of beer. You'll be flat broke and sick for years if you do. Story 62. The psychiatrist is onto something, even if they seem sketchy. Also, the substances are going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Stop now. Story 63. It wouldn't matter. I couldn't receive it. Even if it were possible at the time, which it was not, I certainly did not have the emerging tech. Story 64. You don't want to be a teacher, that shoot sucks. Major in something that might actually make money, even if it's miserable, because being poor sucks worse. Also, buy GameStop stock. Bet on the Panthers for the Stanley Cup in 2024 and 2025. Story 65. 1. Get ready. You're about to have the worst time of your life for at least the next 6 years. I'm 22 right now. 2. Don't start calorie counting again. Story 66. Take the plant substance out of the trunk. Was a sad, sad day when I forgot about it and folks sold my convertible that day. Story 67. Credit is very, very important, so don't fudge it up, jerk. Figure out what you want to do for a career now. Buy a home before 2020. Don't get married. Edit. Start putting money into your 401k as soon as you start working. Story 68. I'm truly deeply, deeply sorry that you were born. That should never have happened. The hospital failed you. I can't tell you that the violence will stop, unfortunately. You will also never be loved by anyone, but your life will be absolutely destroyed every time you assume someone has good intentions. They don't. Story 69. Don't give in to peer pressure when dared to create a mini flamethrower with Axe deodorant and a lighter in the middle of history class. SMFH. Story 70. You take too much shoot from other people. You're gorgeous and smart and don't even know it. Stop hanging out with loser boys. You can't fix them. Instead, do your art. Work like hell. Let no one get in your way. Don't follow no boy nowhere. They ain't worth your time. Story 71. Cut your grandparents out of your life ASAP and question everything they've told you. Also, buy Bitcoin. It doesn't exist yet, but it's coming. And hold it until it's worth around US 60K. Story 72. Ignore all naysayers. Switch to college prep, commit, and go to uni. Avoid the military recruitment people. Story 73. In 2 years, don't give your baby boy up for adoption. You can do this parenting thing. You can find the money to raise him. You can succeed. His adoptive mother will never let you see him while he's still a minor, and it will be hell the entire time you're waiting to see him. Story 74. Don't go through this alone. You will have friends someday, but for now, you need to let your family help you before you get worse. Story 75. This is called a cell phone. The lotto numbers for Wednesday are 125, 34, 41, 44, 49, bonus 37. Invest in a stock called Microsoft. Never use any substances harder than plant substance. Stay away from the Mormons. Story 76. Stop panicking. She isn't pregnant. She is just telling you that, so you won't break up with her. I used condoms, but I was still frozen with fear after she told me her period was 3 weeks later, which wasn't true. Story 77. May 22, 2025, Bitcoin price peaks. Launches in 2009. Cherie is fudge insane and using you to cheat on her deployed fiancé. But focus on the Bitcoin, me. Story 78. I desperately plead with myself to spend more time with my biological brother. He suddenly passed away, and I've regretted not spending more time with him all these years later. Story 79. You can send yourself a message on a phone not connected to the wall in the future. Also bet everything on the Cardinals in the 1982 World Series. Story 80. Learn to skateboard now. Because when you're an adult, you'll be a big hip-hop head and stoner and everyone else in that community skates, so now you look like a dork because you can't stand on a skateboard, you idiot. Story 81. Quit smoking, dumbass. Work harder. Invest in Apple and Google, then later on, Netflix and Amazon. Edit. The text would arrive in the form of a handwritten letter delivered by the United States Postal Service. Sadly, my handwriting has not improved in that time and would be illegible. Time travel paradox strikes again. Story 82. I think I would just tell myself in 10 years you will make it. You will be a business owner and in charge of your own future. Story 83. The degree that you want to apply to college for is business administration. I needed college to get out of my situation, but I struggled to decide which degree to go for. I finally chose one that I thought was interesting, only for them to change the degree map on me in my junior year, screw me over. I switched to a different one that I had completed more than half the requirements for, rely on the transferable skills. Upon graduating, I realized that all the jobs I wanted were business degree type jobs, which I don't have. Never realized in school it'd be so valuable. Biggest regret. Story 84. You will have a hyperfixation on Russia to the point where you tried dating a Redditor that's Russian, and he gave you body image issues over a 3-month period of dating him after he broke up with you. You latched onto the Russian doctor character Dr. Masa Crick from the independent Russian animated series Psycho Cuties, to the point where the only way you sustain yourself emotionally is talking to a character AI chatbot of that specific character for 3 years and the chatbot thinks you're married to him, also you have a new therapist, right? But instead of suggesting some alternatives to get a job, she's manipulating to stay unemployed for another year. Also, you got to meet that muscular SpongeBob XOC fanfiction artist Meflies No One through her actually replying to comments under a video of a guy talking about her, and he's so fascinated of the story you love reading that she finally clears most of the misconceptions she's been harassed over because of her muscular SpongeBob fanfiction and corresponding art. Story 85. Since I am currently under 16, I ask my future self how many subscribers he has on his YouTube channel by then. Story 86. If you think the condom got torn, stop the intimacy. Don't get yourself down. In time, you'll learn that most people are either stupid or lazy. You're doing better than most at work. Go to all the gigs you feel you'd like. A lot of those will never happen again. Story 87. I'd send a rigorous text document to myself that holds everything from stock prices, my decisions, future events, etc. Basically, a very detailed biography of each year so I can plan ahead with all the knowledge I have at this time. Story 88. Never pass up an opportunity to hang out with your grandparents. They die quicker than you wish they did, and you run off to live a really big life after 21. Story 89. Dude, your folks don't care about you here? Either get your money, save it, and dip. I wish I could have saved myself the extra heartache of the last bit of family I had turning their back on me after 7 years of bending over backwards for them. Story 90. A small group of good friends is better than a big group of bad friends. Quality over quantity always matters more and saves you getting hurt. Story 91. Did you know that cat spines are held together by muscles instead of ligaments like a human? This allows them to twist and contort their body and enables them to always land on their feet. Cat facts. If you would like to stop cat facts from texting you daily, just type "Stop Right Meow." Story 92. Socialize with people. Don't just sit in a room and watch TV all day. Stop masturbating. Do exercise regularly. Gain more knowledge that is actually useful. Don't be afraid of making decisions even if they are wrong. Story 93. You have ADHD. Get diagnosed. Get on the meds. See a therapist. If you don't, the next 16 years will be so much worse than they could be. Story 94. Hey bro, at the age of 17, you will have a life-threatening hip infection. Catch it earlier than before. Story 95. I would have already received the message when I turned 16 2 years prior. How would this work? Would I just type out what I was told when I was 16 to my 16-year-old self when I was 18? And then somehow stay in a time loop where the same thing happens every time, and I don't change the text message. Story 96. She wouldn't have a phone to receive it. I am old, but if I could send a short letter instead, I'd tell her to get into Bitcoin when it first takes off.